Hi, I'm Beth Golay with KMUW's Marginalia podcast. We're looking back at 2021 to determine our top 5 reads. So here we go. At number 5, John Green, The Anthropocene Reviewed. John Green is best known for his fiction, his YA and teen novels, but this is nonfiction. It's creative nonfiction. It's a collection of essays, and he writes about the Anthropocene, which is the current geological era, and it's a study of how humans have affected the environment and climate. And so he writes about it, but he uses a 5-star system. It's peppered with great literature, it has really beautiful writing, and it's fun. He reviews things like Diet Dr. Pepper or sunsets or the city of Indianapolis. And you can't tell that I like this at all, can you? But it is my number 5. It's great nonfiction if you're looking for that sort of thing. The Anthropocene Reviewed by John Green. Number 4, Great Circle by Maggie Shipstead. I often worry that books that I read early in the year, or books that anybody reads early in the year, they don't make it to the end of the year favorites list because we lose sight of what we read, or they like escape for a memory. I read this one in March. I believe it came out in April, and I've thought about it ever since then. And it's, sometimes you rank books in your mind as you read them, and this has always stayed near the top. So, Great Circle by Maggie Shipstead. It's epic in scope. It has everything that you want for a good escape read. It has, it's aviation. It has a strong female lead. It explores bootlegging and brothels and art and sea and war and love and everything in between. So if you're just looking for a really good escape that is just written beautifully, I highly recommend Great Circle, Maggie Shipstead. It's my number 4. Number 3, The Memoirs of Stockholm, Sven by Nathaniel Ian Miller. This has memoirs in the title, but it's really a novel. It is set in like Norway, Sweden, Denmark area, but then even north of there in the Arctic Circle. It's about mining, it's about hunting, it's about living off the land. I don't really want to give too many things away, but it is, it's set in this godforsaken place, but it is a beautiful, beautiful read. And so if you're just looking for a good escape that'll make you feel good, I highly recommend Memoirs of Stockholm, Sven, Nathaniel Ian Miller. Is my number 3. Number 2, Goldenrod by Maggie Smith. This is a collection of poems, and I would never in a million years would have thought I would have poems in my top 5, but lately, I've been taking classes and I've come to learn to appreciate poetry a little bit better. I've learned how to understand it a little bit better, and I think that this is just one of the best collections I've ever read. I actually interviewed Maggie Smith. I interviewed all of the authors that I'm bringing up in my top 5. And if you have a chance, go listen to that episode of Marginalia because she reads 3 of the poems, and I think that's that's the best way to learn how to interpret poetry, to learn how to read it. I loved my interview with Maggie because we were able to talk about craft and we were able to talk about so many things, and it was one of my favorites. It was absolutely one of my favorites. You'll hear me say that a lot, but it was absolutely one of my favorites. So number 2, Goldenrod by Maggie Smith. My number 1 book of 2021, Matrix by Lauren Groff. This book is set in France. It's set in the 1100s, and it's about a woman named Marie de France. Now, I wrote a paper about Marie de France in college. She was a real person. Not much is known about her, so maybe that skewed me toward loving this a little bit more. But even if you did not study Marie de France in college, this is a fantastic read. I love the way Lauren Groff just reimagined her life and presented it in just such a rich manner. And it's told in a way that only Lauren Groff could do. So if you're looking for your next great read, Matrix by Lauren Groff or any of the other 4 books that I mentioned in my top 5. And that's it, my top 5 books of 2021. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, thank you for reading, and I hope your 2022 is filled with really, really, really great reads.